I mean, one race, sure, he beat Tsunoda on this instance. There was a lot of things happening. Like you said, he had a little bit of a shunt. We don't know how much damage he had to the rear of the car. Did he even change his front wing? Did his front wing get damaged?
I don't know, because
like
the rear.
It was just the rear. Yeah, because I wasn't sure if he went into the Alpine if that did anything.
Yeah.
I don't know, one rake might have been, I don't know. I mean, he beat Tsunoda on his first outing. Tsunoda's had a whole season to get used to that car.
Exactly.
It's one of those ones where maybe you can say the strategy was a bit better and that wasn't just down to Ricciardo, blah, blah, blah. Fact of the matter is, he beat him on his first outing.
And in qualifying. It's looking good for Ricciardo. Looking good for the Honey Badger.
Yeah, I mean, Red Bull have set up this situation in which, they basically pitch the two against each other. So it's basically like, right, Ricciardo, do your thing, Checo, do your thing. Checo's qualifying wasn't, great, but he kind of made up for it in the race. I think ideally, for him to really be in like Marco's good books, it should have been second. But Norris had really, really good pace in the McLaren. So, let's see how it plays out for the next couple of races after the summer break as well. Checo could end up and like turn the whole season around and put up a championship fight. We don't know, but
he won't. He's not that type of character.
Yeah, I get.
Yeah, but yeah, it's good to dream.
Yeah.
Just need some more street tracks, mate. That's all we need. Or Singapore? No, he's not usually good at Singapore, though, is he?
He's all right, but the problem is, as like you say, street tracks. I think we're in the like a Verstappen-heavy section of the calendar. When I think of Max Verstappen, like even Max Verstappen when he first came through, like into Formula One, like you think of the tracks that suited him best. It was like almost your like old style tracks, your Silverstones, your Hungaries, your Spas, like those tracks just seem to suit him. When it comes to like Monaco or Azerbaijan, like he just doesn't seem to be quite of the level in those tracks. Like he doesn't underperform.
Yeah.
But like maybe there's just like that 2% that really takes Max Verstappen to that next level. He just seems to suit those kind of more traditional tracks a little bit better.
Yeah, I definitely say there's a bigger performance gap between him and his teammate at the tracks you mentioned, and even like Spa, Zandvoort. But realistically, right now, I don't see a single track where he won't win. No. Just, based on the fact that I just don't see any weaknesses. With him, with Red Bull, with, and when I say Red Bull, I'm talking about like the strategists, mechanics, obviously the engineers who design the car, and it's just
even like it's just unfair. Like even the pit stops today, 1.9. How do you even do that? How do you even do that? The car even stops.
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it? Although we did talking about pit stops though, Alonso had a slow pit stop. But did you see what the cause was? Alonso spun the back tires while it was off the ground.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was dangerous. I couldn't hear the team radio or what they were saying, but by the looks of things, it got raised and he might have like dabbed it just a little bit and it went zoop. And the mechanics were like, whoa.
Got a bit eager.
Yeah. But no one got injured, which is good.
Yeah.
It was a weird day for pit stops. Now you mentioned them in Hungary. It felt like at the beginning of the race, no one could remember how to do one.
Halfway through, everyone was like, "Oh wait, hang on."
Like, they got a second go at it. Like they got a second pit stop. We know this one. I remember that.
It's the heat stroke,
especially that McLaren guy who was like prepared.
Prepared. He might be my favourite man just right now ever. Like the way he was just ready.
I would love to scour Twitter to see how many memes we made of that. It's quality.
Oh man. Well, like you say, I think an interesting day for Sergio, just in terms of and obviously Max dominating. Interesting day for Red Bull. They've got questions to ask. Really, do we consider it a successful first race for Daniel Ricciardo?
Oh yeah. Well,
definitely.
What people were expecting of him was to be able to be close to Tsunoda. They knew he had it in his locker to eventually beat him, but for now, to be a success for him, it was to be close, on level. But he beat him by how many places? 3, 4?
I think Tsunoda was 16th in the end.
There you are, 3 places. Bosh. Job done.
Yeah, he looks right back at it, right? You're thinking, you think back to the McLaren days and it was Spain, I want to say last year, where he outperformed Norris with Norris not having any real issues, comes straight in, first race, outperforms Tsunoda, outperforms in the race. Like he just looks fresh, almost like he needed those 5 or 6 races or the 10 races off this season. And where, he even said himself, he doesn't want to just take a seat for the sake of it, which then also makes you feel like, okay, he said no to Haas, he said no to Alpine. he's got to have something. Like Helmut Marko's maybe said something, or Christian Horner's maybe said something.
There's a little carrot dangling.
Yeah, because he's not coming back into literally the worst car on the grid in terms of the constructor stand-ins for no reason. You know what I mean? He doesn't need to go into that car.
No, exactly.
But he's come in and done really well.
No, 100%.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think, like you said, if there was always going to be contract offers available for Daniel, because not only just the driving ability that he has, but everything else about Daniel Ricciardo, you know, that marketability, literally, I was about to say, like just that aspect alone is so helpful for a smaller team. You know, like
it's so helpful for a smaller team.
No, I mean, no, it really is. But it's great to see Daniel back on the track, and it's great to see him, you know, doing well. And it's also great to see his former team actually here, like, to stay. McLaren might actually be back, lads.
No,
and this is great news for me and you. I'm not going to lie.
I thought you were going to mention Alpine then. I was like, did you watch the same race?
No.
We'll get back onto them. We'll get to them in a second.
Left back in the garage.
They're already home.
McLaren are absolutely phenomenal. Like, the step up that it seems to have taken, unreal. Like, we know that they came into the season, and before the season even started, it was mad that, like, Andrea Stella was like, oh, you're the new team principal, you enjoying it? He was like, the car's nowhere near where I want it to be. Like, oh, okay.
You need that drive, and obviously it's paid off.
Yeah, I remember at the start of the season when everyone was talking about, like, oh, Norris needs to find a new team and stuff like that. He needs to look for Ferrari or whatever, or Mercedes even. And, you know, it's just like, hindsight is 2020, or hindsight is a beautiful thing. Just, you know, now he's like doing so well, 2 seconds in a row now. And McLaren are looking really good.